Hey everybody, this is Doomhammer with another update. We have finished week 11. So on Thursday Night Football, we had the Jets versus the Patriots. And the Patriots had a good stretch there, defeating some tough teams. But they fall in this game 48-24. McCarron got some attention there. It looked pretty decent. 3 of 3, 70 yards, 1 touchdown. But it was Alex Smith just letting him have it. Jets get the easy win. Then you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defeating the New Orleans Saints. This is Michael Vick's first loss on the season. He's been so good for the stretch he's played, and we'll see if the Saints are able to keep it going. Tampa Bay moves up to 4-6. Saints fall to 4-6. Then we got the Panthers defeating the 49ers. So Niners are 2-8, not looking great. Drew Brees does get injured. He is out for 5 weeks. So the old man, the 35 years old, no, old man. Anyway, the old man, 35 years old, he is out for the next 5 weeks. So Bruce Gradkowski is going to be coming in as the starting quarterback with Brad Sorensen, the second-year player, as the backup. Yeah, this is not the way they thought their season was going to go, but they are a team right now in decline. Panthers have 5 touchdown passes there from Joe Flacco. Pretty impressive. Then we've got the Jaguars coming away with a tight victory over the Minnesota Vikings. Colt McCoy, slow and steady, wins the race here. We see a little bit of running by committee there. Several running backs and Colt McCoy with 44 yards. Then we got the Colts getting their 3rd win of the year, defeating the Titans. Tavares Jackson having a really rough season. Not the caliber season he had last year. Chris Johnson, 125 yards rushing. Kirk Cousins, still very mediocre, but he's still the starter. Green Bay gets their 3rd win of the year, defeating the Texans. So they keep the Texans from keeping up with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So Osweiler trying to play the Packers out of being able to draft Winston or Marcus Mariota, and so far he's doing a good job of that. Where are we? We are Commanders at Falcons, and Falcons win. Manning with 274 yards, getting the victory over Johnny Manziel. It was a very tight game. Actually, the Commanders almost pulled it off, but came up short. Falcons are the lowest overall rated team at their 9-2. Then you got the Eagles with Donovan McNabb. Of course, he's playing well with Deshaun Jackson, Ted Ginn, and Travis Benjamin, the speedster receivers. But unfortunately, it was the Eagles who fall to the Cowboys. Cowboys get a big victory here. Russell Wilson with 383 yards. So even though the Eagles are a powerful team, they're still number 1, I believe, in the NFC. Maybe them or the Falcons. Dallas is moving in. This is what I thought was going to happen. And I really liked the progression Dallas had because they sort of followed through a plan with Mike Shanahan, and it's all coming together. And the Eagles might have a decline when McNabb leaves, and Teddy Bridgewater's the starter. Bridgewater has a lot of potential to be a pretty good quarterback moving forward, but until then, Russell Wilson right now seems to be ascending to be one of the top quarterbacks in the league on Dallas, who could be a top team in the league. Then we got the Bills only getting 2 field goals, and then the Chiefs getting 3 touchdowns. So 2 field goals to 3 touchdowns. That we all know how that's going to end up. Bortles with 3 touchdowns, having a pretty solid rookie year. Ravens get their 3rd win of the year over the Broncos. Again, not really a good season for them, but they are able to beat the Broncos, so they were able to keep them down, their record. And then you have the Bengals defeating the Oakland Raiders. So the former AFC champions fall short. We see Derek Carr, the rookie, getting the win. The Bengals are 5-5. They're competing for that AFC North division lead. We'll see if they're able to surpass Pittsburgh. Then you got the Browns, who defeat the Giants, moving up to 4-6. Terrell Pryor leading the Browns in rushing with 51 yards. Andre Johnson, 113 yards. Johnson having a pretty solid year. He's already got 854 yards, 6 touchdowns for Cleveland as a 33-year-old. Matt Barkley have been decent this season, but only going 4-6. Kind of the classic definition of just mediocre. And then what was pretty shocking for me was the Rams come away with a victory over the Seahawks. Because the Seattle Seahawks have been really good this year with Stafford and all these weapons. But it was interesting that both quarterbacks really ran well. So Stafford with 62 yards and 2 touchdowns. Luck with 86 yards, no touchdowns. LaShore, the backup running back, was getting a lot of carries because Ben Tate's out for 5 weeks. So Stacy, LaShore, Harper, and Leonard. Or Toby Gerhart, excuse me. Leonard is with another team. Toby Gerhart, we're getting a lot more of the carries. Gerhart only 4 yards there, but LaShore picking up the workload this week. And they get the win. They stay on top. And actually, upon reflection, I think the Rams are the number 1 team in the league because they have 1 less loss. And then the Cardinals fall to the Chargers after Andy Dalton gets injured. So he's injured for 5 weeks. Pretty rough loss for them because Anderson didn't play as great. He had 2 interceptions. He had 3 touchdowns, 343 yards. I guess maybe he had a better game than I thought he did. But he had a fumble. He had 2 interceptions. Those turnovers really hurt them in trying to come back and win this game. They held the lead for a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. Rodgers not even having a great game himself. 2 rushing touchdowns for Foster. So they close out Sunday night. And then the Steelers get smacked down by the Dolphins, almost 300 yards passing for Newton. Roethlisberger gets 3 touchdowns. And that is week 11. When looking at the standings, we see the Dolphins very much in command here in the AFC, and they're number 1 team in the league. So they are the team to beat, probably the number 1 seed. Jets also high up there. Patriots are in the playoff picture. They can work their way back in. Pittsburgh is still ahead of the Bengals by just a tiebreaker, it looks like. And, yeah, 3-1 division record. I think they beat them head on. Browns are actually 1 game away, so Browns aren't even that far away. But the North was a pretty bad division last year with a 7-10 Steelers team, or maybe it was the year before, I forget. I think it was last year. 7-10 was the record that made the playoffs. We'll see if it's similar to that or if these teams are able to get to more of a 9-7 more of a winning record making the playoffs. Jacksonville, 1 game ahead in the South with the Texans right behind him with 1 game. Colts, a few games out, still pretty low. And then the Titans are 2-9. Then you got the Denver Broncos still ahead in the AFC West. Chargers are gaining some momentum. Raiders are at the bottom of the division. So that's rough for them as we see Blake Bortles getting the Chiefs that half game ahead in that division. So Chiefs are turning their luck around. Then we see the NFC East. We got the Eagles 9-2, Dallas Cowboys 8-3. The New York Giants are 4-6, and then Washington bottom of the league with the Bears. Bears having an absolute abysmal season. Detroit is ahead by 2 games in that division. Minnesota is just 2 games out. They're trying to get some momentum after Detroit going on a 5-game win streak. Technically, Green Bay could have a shot. They're only 3 games behind, but there's going to be a lot of losing needing to be done by the Lions and a lot of winning by the Packers. And Green Bay does hold 2 first-round picks. I mean, I think they hold the Chiefs' first-round pick. They have theirs. They got a second-round pick, I think, from the Raiders. They got a lot of draft capital. Then you got the Falcons, who do have the lowest overall, but they are 9-2 with Manning. Panthers are 6-4. Then you got the Saints and Bucks tied at 4-6. And then the Rams are just killing it this season, 9-1. Seattle is up there right behind the Cowboys for like that second wild card seed. And the Super Bowl defending champions are 6-4. They have to see if Derek Anderson can lead them to a playoff spot and keep that playoff spot. Because I think it's between them and the Panthers for that 7th seed. And San Francisco, we know, is at the bottom. So when we look at the worst teams in the league, Chicago right now is in the best odds of getting Jameis Winston. The Commanders, I haven't decided if they go quarterback. They did just draft Manziel. With the firing likely of Marty Morningway, their head coach, they could decide to let Manziel go, even though, Manziel was just so bad. I don't know. I don't know if he'll stay a starting quarterback or I give him another season. But I'm thinking they might keep Manziel, maybe bring a veteran. And who knows, the Titans could decide they want to move up one spot in order to secure Marcus Mariota. The 49ers could want Marcus Mariota since Drew Brees is injured for most of this season, the remainder. He might play a few games at the very end. He might not. But they could use a new quarterback because Brees is kind of old and they don't really have a real replacement. Baltimore with Kaepernick might want to move up. The Packers were the team that wanted Jameis Winston. Now it's looking like the Chicago Bears are going to nab him. Now there's a lot more season to play, so any of these teams could be in the top 2 picks. But right now, Chicago, they seem to be the worst, and the Commanders are right there with them. Then when we look at stats, we got Newton already at 3,100 yards, Manning over 3,000 yards, Brady, Ryan, and Smith finishing in the top 5. We see touchdowns, Manning leading the way. Interceptions, Mark Sanchez, Matt Barkley, Brady, and Jackson leading the way. Then we got Ahmad Bradshaw now taking the number 1 spot there as the leading rusher of the league. Chris Johnson, Matthews, Charles, and McFadden. And then just by 1 yard, Forte. Touchdowns, we got Matt Forte and Bradshaw. Then Julio Jones, Calvin Johnson Jr., A.J. Green, Mike Wallace, Antonio Holmes leading the way there with the receiving yards, Touchdown leaders, we got Holmes, Johnson, and Jennings. Drops, Donnie Avery, Malcolm Kelly. And then we look at tackles, Gerard Mayo, Sims, McCarthy, Cushing, Laurinaitis. Sacks, Bruce Irvin. I can't believe he's leading the league there. But then we got Clay Matthews rounding up the top 5. It's him, Everett, and Khalil Mack with 8 sacks. Mack looking to be solid. And there we see Jadeveon Clowney getting up there in sacks. Before he was behind by a lot in this rookie race. But let's see, what was his game log? Okay, a 2, 1, 1. So yeah, he's been picking up a little bit more near the end of this or the middle of the season, trying to catch up with Khalil Mack, who had some sacks earlier. It looks like kind of slowed down a bit, but consistent one for about 3 straight weeks. Then interception leaders, Demario Davis and Leotis McKelvin leading the way there. So yeah, we got week 11 in the books. Now we're going on to week 12. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video and enjoy these updates. And I will see you in the next video. I'll try to get some other content out as well. Maybe some fun stuff, maybe coaching, draft stuff. I'm still working on doing those quarterback reviews for 12 seasons. I hope you like those videos. Please feel free to leave a comment if there's something you want to see or you have any questions. Always happy to engage in discussion on this franchise.